Page 8, Bagatelle. Bagatelle, you can Google and see what it is. Just a fun little dance. Just a fun piece to play, typically. At the top of page 8, introducing you to another ornament called a short appoggiatura. It's got other names. I won't get into it, but you can Google these ornaments and read all about them, and you'll find that people don't agree on them. A short appoggiatura is just, they're saying it's played as an eighth note. I disagree. It's just a short note. Look at the third measure there on Bagatelle here. Here. Just a short note. And I play them on the beat, so that would come with this. A lot of people play them before the beat. That's where, one of the many things people don't agree on. Yeah, I was taught to play them on the beat in college, so that's how I do it. So that's sort of what we have in this Bagatelle. Again, when I first learned it, I leave out the ornament. So let's look this over. It's a little over a page long. It's got repeat signs, so it's actually twice as long as that, but there's a little over a page of music to learn. Now we have treble and treble clef at the beginning. You notice that you don't get a bass clef until you get to the page 9 second line. So that's one of the reasons I always check the clef signs, because you don't know. No sharps or flats in the key of signature. This is in the key of C major, so be doing the C major scale, the A minor scale, and the arpeggios for C major and A minor. 1 octave on the arpeggios is fine until you get comfortable with the thumb and all that junk. Do the tremolo exercise in that. 2/4 time signature, and I want a fingering that lets me connect the notes, so I just check that. 1 and 2 and 1. And then you're going to use little finger on the grace note, so it's 4th on the big note. And I have 2 C's, so I'll change the, come up and do it again. Cross over. Page 9, second line, not a problem. Good fingering is working fine. Left hand, you're up here now. I don't like that. You can use 2/5 if you'd like. If you like. And then here, thumb twice. Hold the dotted quarter note down. And then lift up, and come up again. The end of the first line on page 9, 2, 3 if you can, connect them. And then broken chords. Okay. The last line at the bottom, you're here, and your bass clef here now. And then the last 2 lines, you get treble clef back again. And the last 2 measures, you're down here, here. That note, G, D, F. That's fine. Then I put the hands together, and I'll hesitate at first. That's okay. It's here. Here. See, at the end, I got all 3 notes down, and then I go do that some more. So I put the hands together, and then I'll go back over just a few measures at a time and get rid of the hesitations. Once the hesitations are gone, then I add the articulation, the staccatos of flexing at the wrist, and they're short. You see in the second measure, they have a line over the E. They tell you it's a tenuto mark. Tenuto, people don't agree on tenuto marks. Big surprise. To me, this means linger on the note. Hang on to it as long as you possibly can, but don't mess up the rhythm. Some people say it's a stress mark. In some cases, it actually might be a stress mark, but here it's just linger on the note, because you get it in both hands, and then the short appoggiatura, connect those, but then it's accent here at the last measure, first line here, accent, and then you do that. So, okay. Second line on page 9 is staccato, accent, connect. And then the left hand, these slurs, connect it all. They don't slur across bar lines in many cases, but connect it anyway. Third line at the last measure, lift up. It's a new phrase, and it's a pickup into that connector. Last two measures, staccato, accent. I'm playing a little louder. Then after I do the articulation, I add the dynamics. Soft, that's the melody, which is the right hand. This, very soft. You have it swell there at the end of the line, come up, about a moderately soft and back down. That accented note will actually make that more like a moderately loud note. And back down and soft. And now at the end of the first line on page 9, the last two minutes, those are loud. Here in this background. Yeah. Second line loud, makes the accented note very loud. This, sort of a moderately soft. Third line, come down to soft. A little louder, back up to loud. And then die away from loud to soft. Yeah. And at the end, you're loud here. Those accented notes make them very loud, but don't pound on it. And it's the right hand we're talking about. Then the speed, just fun. It's a think of bump, 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 bump. It sort of has an eighth note feel to it. It's like 1, 2. You think, well, that's not an allegretto or allegretto. Well, allegretto is between moderato and allegro. It'd be 1, 2, 1, 2. But if I do it there, because of all the eighth notes, it's way too fast. So I got to slow it down a little bit, and really we're talking about the feel of it, so it's really more the eighth notes than anything else. There's a retardando there the second time you play it at the bottom. It is a dance, and you don't want to be slowing down in the middle of the dance, and you probably don't slow down at the end, except it was kind of customary back here in this time when you've got to the end of a piece, you just kind of slow down. It's part of the interpretation. The composer wouldn't necessarily put it in the music. You would just do that as part of interpreting it. You don't have to play at the speed I'm playing. You play it at whatever. Your speed. Yeah.